Rain was permeating through White Bear Lake a short while ago, but the line of showers and storms has cleared out. The only storming that will take place, we hope, this evening is between our two sets of contenders, the Woodbury Royals and the White Bear Lake Area Bears. High school boys soccer, the first of two games tonight live on SEC Sports. Mike Peden with you, and we will start in just a few minutes. The pregame clock was reset. I'm guessing one of the teams perhaps didn't make it to the field on time, or something else took place. So we will begin shortly after 5, and we still have to get through all the pleasantries. But this has been a series controlled by Woodbury. Over the last 10 meetings, they have not lost a matchup. You got to go back to 2016 for the last time White Bear Lake won in this conference rivalry series. And we're not just saying unbeaten. These were all victories. However, the last 3 meetings, each team only meets once in the regular season and potentially in the playoffs. Woodbury won by 1 goal, so 3 one-goal games. Even though the metrics would seemingly favor the Royals, it is a reminder of how unpredictable things can sometimes unfold in these high school soccer contests. And take a look at those 10 meetings. As we said, in each of the last 3, they were decided by 1 goal. Going back further, you've got a 4th back in 2020. So the history and where the teams are right now strongly favors Woodbury. The Royals already going through a gauntlet of tough foes, including within the conference against Cretin-Derham Hall. Now, Cretin-Derham Hall moved back to 2A this year, but the section's still a tough terrain to navigate. St. Paul Central, Woodbury faced them, beat them 3-1. When the Minutemen were ranked in Class 3A, they took on Minnetonka on Saturday, dropped that one 4-1. They'll also get Wayzata later in the season, a non-conference contest, and then Stillwater to end the regular season. Stillwater historically one of the stronger foes, and Washburn as well, September 20th. Woodbury historically has been in what I call the group of death over in section 4-4A, or 4-3A that is. I'm so used to saying 4A in basketball and volleyball. That's because up until this year, Cretin-Derham Hall and Stillwater and Eastridge were all in the mix, and they could still give Woodbury a battle. So a lot of tough teams in that group. White Bear Lake also in that section. But the Bears have had a slow start. Their only victory of the season came against South St. Paul. They drew even with Mounds View. Started the year with a loss to Centennial. They also get Minnetonka on the 20th. It will be here at White Bear Lake. That is a tall order. And then October 2nd, they will end the regular season against Cretin-Derham Hall. Taylin Gittens in her 2nd year as head coach of the Bears. 8-10-5 is her mark. Got some publicity when she took over. She's in there somewhere under that tent, which White Bear Lake threw up, although I don't think they're going to need it because, as we said at the Open, we were dealing with showers and storms. But looking at the radar now, and I'm looking at my phone, clear conditions the rest of the way. It will still be cloudy, of course, but I don't see any more signs of rain, maybe a sprinkle or two. But this game and our 2nd game, when the girls take the field, should stay dry. But White Bear Lake, they've had to build their way up, and it has been a tough slog. Their leader on offense, Ike Berghini, has 3 goals, but as a team, the Bears have scored just 6 goals altogether, and they were shut out on Saturday, taking on Duluth East on the road. Woodbury won their first 3 games to start the year before losing their first one against Minnetonka. They were looking pretty spry. They scored 10 goals, or 9 goals, I should say, in the first 3 games. And then had the scoreless draw with Cretin-Derham Hall, and then the 4-1 loss to Minnetonka as we look at the Suburban East Conference standings. As you can see, still early in the conference portion of the season, and each team only plays each other once. So that's why you're seeing records and positions a little all over the place right now. Just not enough games to sort out standings. It's not unlike the standings after week 1 of the NFL season, which Vikings fans are glad they sat through. There's Aiden Feigl. He will be the keeper to keep an eye on. Liam May, the other keeper, and Maxwell Bounds, the third. But Feigl is the primary keeper for the Royals, 14 saves. Some of Woodbury's data hasn't been updated as of yet, so it reads 14 saves over 3 games. That total might be a little higher. At the high school level, sometimes it's dependent on who publishes stats and when they do. For White Bear Lake, Cooper Shawls is their primary. He has 31 saves, 861 save percentage. And Cooper Fern has also seen time. There's Taylor Gittins, the head coach of White Bear Lake. Certainly the first woman in White Bear Lake history to coach a boys team, and to our knowledge, one of the first, if not the first, woman to coach a high school boys team in the state of Minnesota. But she knows the sport. You may remember last year we shared a bit of her story as she got some publications for her rare distinction. Her playing career was cut short due to injury and other physical issues, but showcasing her meticulous mettle as a coach. And there is a look at the Woodbury staff. They're led by head coach John Engen, who is out at the captain's huddle right now. Woodbury, a team that made state a couple years ago and had a chance to make a run all the way to the finals, came up just a bit short. Now we are getting ready for the lineup introductions, and then we'll have the national anthem to follow. My guess is that the warm-up time was delayed. As I mentioned, Woodbury made state a couple years ago, and last year got back in the show after some early hurdles. In 23, Woodbury reached the semifinals, ended up with the bronze medal. Last year, they lost to Egan in the quarterfinals of Class 3A. Speaking of, here's a look at the rankings. As of the most recent poll, Minnetonka, the team to beat right now. But as we've seen, parity and unpredictability sometimes take hold here. And you see some new faces in the mix. Woodbury and Central tied in the 9th spot. Centennial and Wayzata also tied. Eastview up there, Maple Grove, Egan, Centennial, Buffalo. So some newer faces. I remember a few years ago it was Stillwater and Washburn and Wayzata. It's just a reminder of how the dynamics change from year to year.
Forward, number 7,
the Royals, though, with a rich history. Now, technically, they have taken a step back over the last several years, if you look at where they finished. But I don't think anyone would complain about their performance
Midfield number 12, Captain Gio Pesco.
Reaching the state tournament 3 straight years. In 2022, they had a chance to win it all. They lost to Wayzata 3-2. As we noted in 23, they got to the semifinals and would later win bronze against conference rival Parkview Cottage Grove. And last year, reached the state tournament again in a year where they weren't necessarily favored. But again, 4-3A, one of the most difficult sections to get out of, a lot of good teams. And based on the rankings, of course, it's still really early. And that win over St. Paul Central, that may put Woodbury in a favorable spot to get out of Section 4 again. But they still have a couple of other teams that have posed a challenge before in Stillwater and Eastridge. We'll talk more as we get ready for this game. Now it's time for the national anthem. All of you tolerated my pontifications over the last few minutes, so we were not aware of the delayed start, but that's okay. As you saw in the graphic, Woodbury, they have some big matchups ahead. Wayzata, that's a ranked one, and a series with some history. The two teams have met several times over the last few years. White Bear Lake, a different story. They haven't had as much success in this sport. Last year, they got bounced in the quarterfinals 4-0 against Two Rivers. And the year before, they won just once. But White Bear Lake did take a step forward a year ago. They went 7-6-4. Continuing that trajectory would seem a little more difficult given their start at 1-4-1, but there's still about half the season to be played. There is Tadeo Magana, one of the midfielders. Woodbury has 3 players with a pair of goals based on the data that we have available: Centeno, Bang, and Magana, as we get underway. So again, slightly delayed start, but we are ready to go in this doubleheader. Which typically takes place during the week, and we'll have our first foul just seconds into the contest as Magana is called for the push. That's going to give White Bear Lake great field position for this free kick. And it appears Gio Pesco-Solido will put it in play as we take another look. Pesco-Solido gets the signal. Soft tap. Was looking for a teammate up in the scrum. Couldn't find one. If you just joined us, we had a slightly delayed start time And I think it may have had to do with Woodbury not being able to get to the field right away. Lightning wasn't an issue when we got here. We had some heavy rains, but they have cleared out.
No turn, no turn.
And again, we will, in all likelihood, stay dry unless something develops this evening. Here's a dribbler, centering pass, gets sent back. That was Latif Soamimo, who nearly put White Bear Lake in scoring position. But Woodbury's defensive line, that back line holding up. White Bear Lake.
Diego. Lucas, shoulder. Check shoulder, check shoulder.
We'll try again. That is 37, Michael Hazelman. And we'll do this again. And then
Hey, drop.
actually we'll have a stoppage in play, it would seem. An equipment malfunction, specifically a cleat malfunction. And even more specifically, a shoelace. Want to make sure those are tidied up. Last thing you want, especially after a lengthy round of showers, is to lose your shoe. But another free kick, Pesco Solido, this time was able to get it into that scrum at least for a moment. Sendejas trying to gather, can't keep it in the field of play.
Hey, it's the ball. Nice, you got one way back there.
Again, Woodbury, winners of the last 10 meetings against White Bear Lake. The last 3, however, decided by 1 goal. And for a team like White Bear Lake, certainly the underdogs in this matchup, but if you can steal one, not only would it jumble up the state rankings, it could also jumble up seeding when we get to that point, first weekend in October. I know that seems crazy to say, but it's a short regular season window for soccer to get all the games in. Usually that is done to ensure they're played before inclement weather, more specifically cold weather, takes over. Woodbury taking over at the middle. But not much there. And White Bear Lake gets it back for a moment. Woodbury with our first shot on goal and stumbling before getting himself back up was Preston Lee. Cooper Schulz wearing the fluorescent green or fluorescent yellow. Either way, a fluorescent kit.
They're running.
Woodbury taking command again. Through ball. Gives Woodbury an odd man opportunity. Schulz with a leaping grab against Adam Bain. Woodbury can't keep the ball in the field of play, and that is a tough break. As Lee was sizing up another counter play, Woodbury trying to score on those odd man rushes before the defense gets set. They certainly have the upper hand in this one. Centering pass gets away. Woodbury with the second try, and it just hooks over the net. That was Lucas Laval backing up his brethren. Schulz was out of position. That was a great chance. So there's the cross. Schulz dove for it, couldn't get there. And Laval shot just a bit outside. And I don't mean that in the ironic sense.
Mike, watch it!
Like Harry Doyle did all those years ago. Woodbury was that close to getting on the board early. But as we saw last night in the Vikings-Bears Monday night matchup, 60 minutes of game time is a long time. Well, here, 80 minutes of game time is a long time. Even though the clock doesn't stop in this sport for most cases.
Roll it out there, roll it out there, roll it out there.
It's time for our first corner. And Adam Bain.
Hey, somebody fall four.
Hey, fall a 9.
And we got two back.
We got two back.
One of the frontline contributors puts it in play. A collision up the middle. Woodbury trying to gather. That's Riley. Under pursuit. White Bear Lake able to force a change in possession. They'll get the throw in. But they remain mired in a defensive position. Woodbury.
Mikey, come back.
Controlling possession, controlling tempo from the start. White Bear Lake.
Hey, tight with your mark. Hey, Gavin, shift right like 3 steps.
And one chance early. Since then, all Woodbury. Here is a running start. Woodbury, they're known for that. As the ball is bopped over to Schulz. That was Bain on the throw-in. And in stadiums like this, really throughout the Suburban East, you can get those running starts. The only facility where you can't do that in this conference, to my knowledge, is Cretin-Durham Hall. And that's because they play at Wingard Field, and the tight confines don't give you much room. But here with the running track and the wide open spaces, here and elsewhere, we have seen players get into a windup and use that momentum to propel their throw-ins, get a little more distance. Free kick for the Bears. This is Caden Gonzalez. He'll try to pass it to one of his teammates up front. Nearly succeeds, but it's tapped away and out of play by Lucas Laval. But White Bear Lake will get a throw-in opportunity.
Come on, guys. Bain with 7. I got 9 free. 9 free.
That's Weston Young.
Away! Let's go again. Again.
Not much there, goal kick.
Hey, ball in. Go, 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 go. Go up, go up. Push it back. You let in. One coming, one coming. Good.
Woodbury didn't waste any time, although that was a little risky when you pass around as closely. Now Woodbury on the move, through ball, finds its man. Here comes the cross. Laval can't quite connect. That was Bain leading the charge. Got the cross to Laval, but Laval maybe a half step, quarter step behind it. Booted it out of play, but Woodbury takes over after the goal kick. Magana evading a defender. He's got a chance. Woodbury rips one through. They lead 1-0. And that was Bain who finished off the play.
Scoring for the Royals, number 11, Adam Bain.
In the 12th minute, Bain gets the persistent Woodbury attack on the board. That was a great pass up front. I believe it was Magana who set him up. And for Bain, that is his first goal of 2025. As we said for Woodbury, they don't have a leader yet. They have 3 young men with 2 goals and then 3 more with a goal based on the data that's available. But this is a group, a crew that has reached the state tournament 3 straight years. Had a chance to beat Wayzata 3 years ago to win it all in 3A. Won bronze 2 years ago, got bounced in the quarters last year. Woodbury hoping they can fix that trajectory and go back on the upswing. Of course, it's not easy to get to a state tournament, as we have a free kick for Pesco Solito. And another factor that makes this sport so tricky to call or to predict, as Woodbury on the counter, flag stays down. They've got a good chance here. Swooping in at the last minute for the deflection was number 17, Caden Gonzalez. It looked like Evan Vang would have an uninterrupted journey expedition to the net. Caden Gonzalez able to get a key stop, and if nothing else, that gives White Bear Lake a chance to get their defense set as we await this Woodbury throw-in from Preston Lee. I thought for sure we would have at least a shot on goal. I'm not going to say Woodbury would be up 2-0 because there are so many variables in this sport that are unique compared to the others that we cover on SEC, and a lot of it has to do with your approach on a shot, velocity, trajectory, elevation, angle. You're trying to make all of these judgments in a matter of microseconds. And to suggest, oh, Woodbury would have scored is hard to say. About 15 minutes have gone by. Centeno gathers. Woodbury turns on the Jets again, but no one there to pick up the pass. Shawls will boot it back. That was Magana. And from here, I'm not sure if he thought somebody was along the left side to pick up that dribbler or if he just misjudged it. But Woodbury, unwavering, unflinching in their ball control schemes. They regather. Tried to hook up with Centeno to center it, but he was in heavy traffic. So Wamimo will clear. And Woodbury's back line will reset over to the keeper.
Drive, Preston.
Typically, those resets aren't an issue, but we have seen a couple of cases this year of intentional passing to the keeper. That is something officials are keeping an eye on, and we'll see if that comes up in this game or our next one. Through ball for Woodbury, a little too fast for Bain, but it is a reminder of how adamant Woodbury has been about getting to the ball. They'll reset again. White Bear Lake trying to pounce. They do, and they knot it up with the equalizer by Diego Rios, who completes the soccer equivalent of a scoop and score.
Scoring for your Bears, number 7, Diego Rios.
Those resets with traffic nearby, you'd see the tail end of that play. Here's another look. Rios gets in front of the clearance attempt by Feigl. We talk about how dangerous those passes can be in hockey. They're just as treacherous in soccer if you make a clearance attempt while there are opposing members nearby. Because all it takes is someone to jump the route, pick up on the passing target. Now we are even. Scholes makes the catch. On the shot from deep along the left side by Bain. But Woodbury, their strength has been ball control. They gather it again. Magana was looking for somewhere to go with it. And so Amimo able to bounce it off a Woodbury player to force the goal kick. Woodbury, the more consistent team in terms of chances. White Bear Lake was able to pounce on a miscue by Feigl. But you'll take goals however they come. Centeno tried to get the centering pass in. White Bear Lake with the deflection. But once again, Woodbury displaying tons of technique. They've been jumping at the ball. Now they'll reset again along the back line. That's Cohen Rogers. Over to Centeno. Lots of quick passing on the Woodbury side. Magana trying to make a running charge toward the net. Feigl boots it back. The deflection will go out of play as Graham Newlander simply clears. We see this from time to time, teams conceding a throw-in just to give their side a chance to get back on defense.
Caden, I'll have you back forward.
Now we'll get our second corner. Bain, far post. Ball tapped in, and it will go back for another corner kick. It was tapped by Scholes, but it left the field of play. So Woodbury gets another set piece. And a foul called on Woodbury, although Scholes had made a play on it anyway. In any event, he'll get a breather. As the persistent Woodbury offense looks to retake the lead. White Bear Lake scoring off a turnover. They don't count turnovers in this sport, but Rios intercepted a clearance attempt and rifled the grounder past Feigl to even this up at 1. And again, White Bear Lake, they've played Woodbury close over the last 3 years. As we await a throw in for Tadeo Magana. Here comes that running start I was talking about. Header. And a brief entanglement. So Mimo swoops in, but can't hook up with his teammate. White Bear Lake wanted the clearance. Instead, we got a throw in near the White Bear Lake bench. And another chance for Woodbury to keep their offense rolling. Pass over to Magana. White Bear Lake closed off any possible shooting space, and they'll get the clearance they were seeking.
Play Diego.
Woodbury goes for the direct strike. Scholes with another stop. But Payne, he's had unofficially 3 shots on goal, I think. With one of them punching through, working that left side beautifully. And the longer this keeps up, the greater chance I think Woodbury will have notching another score. Brief collision between Dockett and Vang, just a little bump. Nothing more.
Number 46, Charles Stepnick.
And Charles Stepnick.
And for the Royals, number 20, Ethan Knowlton.
Will make his first appearance. Ethan Knowlton will do so as well. Our first substitutions of this game.
Drop.
Woodbury on the move again. Fryman, one hopper. Scholes couldn't glove it, had to dive for the stop with Knowlton ready to knock it in. Close call for Scholes, but Woodbury looking for another chance, and Scholes will run out to grab it before Knowlton can get there. But once more, another chance brewing for Woodbury. They've had a few at the net.
Time.
And this is where they have dominated, the facet that has gone in their favor most. White Bear Lake. Through ball gets to Soamimo.
Go shot.
Has to back off. Pass slightly offline, and that puts a stop to a possible White Bear Lake chance. Now it's White Bear Lake getting in front of those passes. Uh-oh. Could this be a mirror of what we saw a few minutes ago? Not quite. One of the backline members for White Bear Lake set up a block around Knowlton, and that long lob is caught by Scholes, who has seen a lot of activity in the first half. The roster changes from year to year, as it always does in each sport. But for White Bear Lake, I don't think too many of these athletes would remember the last time White Bear Lake was victorious against Woodbury, which was 2016. But a nice right-footed strike by Pesco Salido. Feigl able to make the catch. It does offer a reminder that White Bear Lake could pounce if they get the opportunity. Maybe they can't win possession time. Maybe they can't dictate the tempo and establish the pace they want, but they can make some disruptions. We know how much that can carry you in this sport. But I was going to say, if you do get a win against a team that has reached the state tournament for 3 straight years and a contender to qualify for a 4th, not only would this give you some confidence going into sections, if you can beat one of the teams you'll likely have to get through, but it could be the kind of win that jolts the vibe in a positive direction.
Leave the ball here if you're leaving.
Checking in for the Royals, number 19, Kenneth Woodbury.
You can just leave it on the side of the net.
So Amimo got in front, but not before the ball rolled past the touchline. So Woodbury with another throw-in.
Focus, boys.
That won't last long.
Hey, man, no turn, man. On it. That's Preston. That's Preston. Hey, mark up.
Under 10 minutes to go.
Time. Go, go.
Deep ball. Shawls read it all the way. Made sure he was in position to secure it. And with someone like Adam Bain in the vicinity, you're not going to take too many chances.
Come on, Lucas.
It's a foot race along the left side, and it will result in a corner.
Hey, mark up.
First set piece of the game for the Bears.
If you're facing back, it's fine.
A team that finished above 500 last year, the first year for Taylor Giddens.
22. Hey, 22.
As head coach.
22. Ben, 22. Bang it, boys. Bang. 22. Bang. Up. Up.
Hewitt's corner cleared out by the Royals. White Bear Lake gets in front though, and they may not be done.
Go on, shoulder. Away. Come on, step. Now. Get up. Get up.
Woodbury able to secure possession. We've seen them try a couple of those long through balls. And each time Shawls is able to get the jump, it helps when the keeper can traverse all along that 18-yard box. But Woodbury has it again. No one there for the pass. It's Soamimo. Heads the other way. Soamimo with a little runaround to get free of Laval. Now White Bear Lake with a pass to no one. Woodbury. Well, I thought they had a little counter set going. But what we are seeing is another example of the tricky nature that often greets soccer athletes when it comes to routes, passing, and connecting with your targets. To be sure, it can happen in other sports too, but in a competition where there aren't any stoppages, no stoppage time at this level, you're always moving. That can turn miscues into mammoth mistakes, as we saw in the 17th minute when Diego Rios intercepted a failed clearance attempt and scored. Quick yellow. And it's on Rios.
Hey, drop back, drop back. Hold the 18, hold the 18.
Yellow card in the 35th minute for Rios. And it didn't take long for the referee to issue the card. Here is another look at what led to the yellow, and it's for the sliding tackle. Bain on the free kick. Woodbury trying to get the header into the net. And Landon Riley upset with himself, feeling like he missed an open opportunity.
Number 7, Kevin Tenno. And for your Bears, number 8, Parker Anderl.
Bain found him on that set piece. Riley just couldn't put it on the mark. We've had a couple of those instances from Woodbury where they were off by just a bit. I would still say Woodbury the stronger team. White Bear Lake not as consistent in generating offensive chances.
Yes, yes.
That would be my first half synopsis.
Wait, go away. Watch it through.
White Bear Lake
Dribble
aiming
catch,
to
mark
rewrite
up,
that
mark up.
narrative in the final leg of the first half. Holding a 1-4-1 mark. Woodbury 3-1-1.
Checking in for the Royals, number 17, Jonah Peary.
17 is wide open.
And for the Bears, number 5, Taylon Kubik.
Both teams getting another sub in before the half ends. And a reminder, there are no substitution limits at this level. White Bear Lake will get a reset in. Bain. He's been hustling all half and was able to get a throw in. White Bear Lake with the clearance. Laval, the cross, brought down by Centeno, but White Bear Lake is trying to knock it away. Magana. Out to Bain. Bain looking to create. Couldn't do it. Kenneth Woodring. Batted, then passed it back. Woodbury, they were aiming for Bain on the cross. White Bear Lake gets in front of it. And Woodbury forced to backtrack.
1 minute remaining in the first half. 1 minute.
Final minute of the half. Centeno keeps it. Woodbury charging up front again. Can they keep it in play? White Bear Lake jumps on top of it.
30 seconds.
Lee was there. White Bear Lake clears. There will be a corner as we approach 20 seconds. Line drive. Goes right back out to Magana. And Woodbury scores on the cross by Magana.
Scoring for the Royals, number 4, Landon Riley.
Riley with 12 seconds remaining. This season, I've seen a few teams score on corners that got sent back to the young man or woman who put it in play. And Magana goes far post to Riley.
7, 6,
And Woodbury's relentless nature nets them another goal. They'll head to halftime with a 2-1 lead, with goals from Bain and Riley. And they look to be well on their way to an 11th straight win over White Bear Lake in this conference series. 2-1, Royals over Bears. You're watching high school boys soccer on SEC Sports.
The bravest person I know is definitely my dad, 100%.
My friend Sean.
My daughter Cynthia, and she was in the United States Army.
One of the bravest things he ever did wasn't when he first enlisted, it was when he found his first support group.
Our journey has not been easy.
One of the bravest things he did was when he asked to move in with me and my mom.
I felt like I was lost, and he gave me a place to stay.
When he decided he was going to go back to school after 23 years.
It was the better part of my life that I spent in the Marine Corps. Transitioning out, it's a difficult thing.
She went on foreign soil. She went to war. But the bravest thing she did is when she asked for help.
So I really appreciate it.
Did you hear?
Todd's in the hospital.
Who's Todd? He got a collapsed lung from vaping. He thought it was cool.
Not cool.
Promise you won't vape, Emma. It can lead to a lifelong addiction, and we can't be friends if your lungs collapse.
Bogus.
Wacky sitcom teens aren't the best people to talk to your kid about vaping.
Hey, you got a minute?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
Buckle up! Nobody is more prepared for an emergency than Dogman.
With all your kung fu skills and your K9 fortitude or whatnot.
But for the rest of us, a good plan goes a long way.
Come on, let's go!
So, whether it's an unexpected disaster or the world's most evilest cat bent on destroying all do-gooders,
Destroy all do-gooders!
you can help your family be ready for anything.
No time to waste. Will you get out of here?
Get started today at ready.gov/kids.
I never realized that I'd be taking care of a 2-year-old and a 9-year-old on my own. Sometimes as dads, I think we're too hard on ourselves. We get down on ourselves on not being able to, we're the providers, but we also have to learn to take care of ourselves. Self-love made me a better dad because I realized my worth. My daughter Isabella recently had a graduation into high school, and I got emotional because I saw pride in her eyes. I saw my daughter have her own self-love, and I saw the hard work of me being that dad 24/7 transferred to my teenage daughter. The word father means a lot to me. When I give my love to my children as a father, I can see it.
There I was, 16, divorced, remarried with a baby, another on the way, and I could barely read or write. Getting my high school diploma was a catalyst I needed. Now I have a bachelor's and master's, and I became a teacher. When I look at all these success stories, I could not help but think it all started by getting my high school diploma.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
My dad showcased a sense of love that I never had before. It felt like it was something that I've always wanted. I mean, he's not only my parent, like he's like my best friend.
Learn about adopting a teen at adoptuskids.org.
When we have the food we need, we are at our best. We push further. We rise higher. We unlock our full potential. When we are at our best, we have more to offer the world around us. When we have the food we need, we make our communities stronger. Together, we can help everyone get the food they need to thrive. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
No need to worry. This field is not abandoned. Everyone just huddling at halftime, with Woodbury leading White Bear Lake 2-1 in our Suburban East Conference soccer doubleheader. Woodbury's balance, an emerging theme for this year. They've reached the state tournament the last 3 years, and two players who hadn't scored until today get their names on the board. It began in the 12th minute, but first, it was Adam Bain who took the pass from Magana. And there you see Diego Rios on the tail end of an interception following the clearance attempts. And check this out. The corner by Magana goes right back to him. He spots Landon Riley at the far post. Riley using his head. On the other side, Latif Soamimo had a couple of looks. As now we take a look at some of the saves from our keepers. Cooper Shawls had a busy first half. It's closely. Now Woodbury on the move. Through ball. Finds its man. Here comes the cross. Laval can't quite. And there's no way I can compete with that narrator. This was perhaps the biggest defensive stop by a position player, Caden Gonzalez, as Evan Vang collected a pass. Leg stayed down. There's a save by Shawls that went over the net. That gave Woodbury a couple of corners. White Bear Lake doing a tremendous job keeping this a one-goal game, but at times it feels like they have been back on their heels. So again, goals from Bain in the 12th minute and Riley in the 40th for Woodbury, and Rio scoring in the 17th minute. He also got a yellow card in the 35th minute for a sliding tackle that caught the legs of a Woodbury player. As we recap the first half, again, it has favored Woodbury in terms of offensive momentum, but there is another set of 40 minutes to be played. And if White Bear Lake is able to mitigate the possession time or contain it, that might open up some chances for them. We'll take another break and come back for the second half. This is high school boys soccer on SEC Sports. Woodbury leads 2-1.
Love is a lesson that doesn't end. It knows no conditions, so you better buckle in. Love keeps you on your toes. It never stops, only grows. Love isn't easy. It's a commitment, especially when they're being their most resistant. Love is being prepared for the journey ahead. Love doesn't let any concerns go unsaid. Love is finding the right seat so you can take a breath. But remember, love isn't lax. It always double checks. Check that your kids are in the right seat at NHTSA.gov/the right seat. Love protects.
Sit up, team. When I look around this room, I see a fighting team of brave antibodies. But the flu is coming in strong, so I won't sugarcoat it. I need each one of you on your A game. The good news is, Anthony, the human body we've been tasked to protect, just got his flu shot, which supplied us with brand new gear to defend against the flu. That's right, we've upgraded our game with this new equipment. They give you a little extra boost. So let's go fight for Anthony, for his mom, his co-workers, that nice lady Patricia that lives down the street with the cute dog. In the face of viral adversity, we make Anthony thrive so he can protect himself and the people he loves most. Are you with me? Yeah!
Let's work as a team to defend against the flu. Gear up with a flu shot to help protect others and reduce your risk of being sick or hospitalized with the flu. Learn more at getmyflushot.org.
Achieving my goals as an adult was challenging without a high school diploma. With the help of an adult education center, I finished my high school diploma and it changed my life.
This yearbook is a testament to your accomplishments and how they have impacted all of us.
Getting my high school diploma made me feel like I can do anything. Now, I can help the kids in my community achieve their dreams.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Love is a lesson that doesn't end. It knows no conditions, so you better buckle in. Love keeps you on your toes. It never stops, only grows. Love isn't easy, it's a commitment, especially when they're being their most resistant. Love is finding the right seat so you can take a breath. But remember, love isn't lax, it always double checks. Check that your kids are in the right seat at NHTSA.gov/the right seat.
Sit up, team. When I look around this room, I see a fighting team of brave antibodies. But the flu is coming in strong. The good news is, Anthony, the human we're tasked to protect, just got his flu shot, which supplied us with strong new gear to defend against the flu. So let's go fight for Anthony. Are you with me?
Let's work as a team to defend against the flu. Gear up with a flu shot to help protect others and reduce your risk of being sick or hospitalized with the flu. Learn more at getmyflushot.org.
Second half about to kick off. And for those keeping track of the season tallies, again, Woodbury with 2 new entrants. With regards to goal scorers, Bain and Riley netting their first of the year. Rios, with his goal in the 17th minute for White Bear Lake, earned his second of the 2025 season. Throwing right away for Woodbury on a leaping leg sweep by Centeno. Bain using his jersey to dry off the ball. As that running throw-in, and it's caught by Shawls. If you're curious, a throw-in is akin to an indirect free kick, since a lot of young men in particular have the strength to launch a cannon toward the net. So they can't score directly off of those, but they can act like corners if you play them right. And we may get another chance here. And you notice again Bain drying off the ball, even though the rain activity that moved through is now away. The turf's still damp. Loose ball after the throw in, and the shot goes over the net. Landon Riley had the setup down. You'll see it here. Riley, I believe, to Lee, and Lee just put a little too much on it. But Woodbury is at it again. This is Centeno. Charles makes the catch. It's not the kind of start you want to see if you're Woodbury. I should say White Bear Lake, because the Royals controlled possession for most of the first half. And there they are again, just collecting takeaway after takeaway. Centeno up in the middle. Had that one pried from his grip. White Bear Lake looking to employ a counter, but the through ball is all for naught. Flag went up. And from here, Gavin Hewitt was pretty clearly offside. First time we've seen an offside call in this game. Of course, that results in an indirect free kick as the lights come on here at White Bear Lake. Again, we're starting a little later than scheduled, where we started this first game about 15 minutes later than planned. So the girls' game will start shortly after 7 when you factor in the warm-up time in between games. Foul called. And another break for White Bear Lake. And for the Bears, they have some tough foes ahead in their schedule. They get Minnetonka as well, the #1 team. That could be a long day as Bain sends a dribbler to Shawls. That could be a long day. We'll have to see how White Bear Lake progresses as they make their way through, and then they have the rest of the Suburban East Conference. And we'll say it is a little strange to not see Stillwater and Eastridge in the rankings when it seemed like those two had been up there for so long, but year to year, that's what can happen. Woodbury in control again. Bain trying to center it up to Centeno. White Bear Lake gets in front of the ball. no one there to collect the pass for Lee. Weston Young, the sophomore, with a pensive expression. If you joined us late, Woodbury won their first 3 games of the year. Drew even with Cretin-Durham Hall in a 0-0 affair, and then lost to Minnetonka 4-1. Minnetonka, the #1 team in Class 3A. White Bear Lake just 1 win this season. That came against South St. Paul. And also, if you joined us late, if you're tuning in somewhere in the Twin Cities or nearby, you probably encountered that big line of showers and storms that traveled through the Twin Cities area earlier this afternoon. That line cleared out about 10 minutes before the original start time, but it's still damp out there. And as we've said before, sometimes the slick field can change your grip, as Woodbury sizing up another chance. Riley, I believe, or that might have been Evan Vang actually, couldn't quite get the ball down. Woodbury knocking on the door. Of course, they are in front, so not as much pressure on the Royals, but any missed opportunity could loom large later, depending on how the rest of this game unfolds. Royals on the move again. Flag goes up. That will be a foul on the takedown by Newlander against Evan Vang. Newlander needing a moment to collect himself, favoring his left wrist.
Logan Graham, drop into the box. Ike, to your left. One more. Right there.
In the meantime, Magana
Do not jump.
and
Do
Bain
not move.
in position for the free kick, and because the official had to stop play, they will make the request for the 10-yard halo.
Cooper, you still like it? Yeah.
Because Woodbury has to wait until the official signals a restart anyway.
Watch those runs.
So Bain and Magana. Magana misfired.
Checking for the Bears, number 36, Cody Olson. Along with number 20, Grayson Anderson.
Okay, push up.
Foul called on Woodbury this time as Magana was trying to slice and dice his way through the White Bear Lake defense. And here we are again. Royals just all over the ball right now. Foot race. Centeno got there first, but sends it out of play, so White Bear Lake avoids a scare. Woodbury intervening one more time. Magana. That was Bain actually. Woodbury gets in front of another pass. This has been their strategy. White Bear Lake swoops in, trying to develop a counter. Woodbury pokes it back. That was Preston Lee. Bain again. Tries to snake around a defender. Stumbles onto the turf. Good defense by Caden Gonzalez. Played him clean and didn't give him an opening to maneuver around. Bain again. He is getting after it. First time I've seen Woodbury. Coincidentally, they have a doubleheader on Saturday that I'll be a part of when they play Two Rivers. Here's Magana. Nearly had it. A great try nonetheless, with a couple of defenders encircling him, but I think it's clear which team has settled in. Bears. That was Soamimo. About 15 minutes have gone by in the second half. And even though Woodbury hasn't put up any goals, so far they have controlled it. And just as I say that, they nearly notch a third. Centeno Initially, I thought his shot was wide left, but it was touched by Shawls, so we'll get another corner. And the last time Woodbury had one, it led to the goal from Riley. Magana.
Mark, look at the back. We got 3 open guys. Ball in!
He's been putting in a lot of work as the setup man, and he puts in a little more work for Cabron Barakat. This one comes in the 56th minute. And that went off of Barakat's arm, it looked like, or shoulder area. I think it was his shoulder. Looking at Cabron's facial expression, he seemed a little surprised. It just ricocheted, I think, off his shoulder. If it was the arm or the hand, obviously, that wouldn't count, but a fortuitous bounce leads to a fortuitous score, and Barakat tallying his first of the year. Woodbury, all 3 goals coming from first-timers today. And as we said, the theme for Woodbury this season has been balance. Nobody with more than 2 goals. And what that can do for this team moving forward. A group that has reached the state tournament 3 straight years, hoping to make it a 4th. That makes scouting them even more difficult. As they make another charge. That was Magana on the attempt. It has been a busy outing for Shawls. And I'm looking at the time here. The girls' game will probably start around 7:15 to 7:20. Since the boys' game was slightly delayed in its start time. Centeno goes left and right. Magana back out to Barakat. Shawls with the catch. But another picturesque scoring chance for Woodbury. They have been peppering White Bear Lake all game long. And acknowledging the intricacies of the sport, you're never going to hear me say Woodbury should be up by more because of all the factors that I mentioned earlier, as we have a foul on Woodbury for the tackle. Landon Riley pleading his case. This is exactly what White Bear Lake needs. They haven't been able to maintain possession for long, so free kicks, counters. This is a chance for Gio Pesco-Solido to roar White Bear Lake back into this game. And the free kick is high.
Checking in for your Bears, number 10, Gavin Hewitt.
Showers have moved through. It will be a little more summery later this week, and even today it's a touch humid. Of course, that usually is the case when precipitation in the form of rain ends up here. Pesco-Solido trying to lead the way.
Chanel.
Woodbury offside. And Centeno sought Bain one more time. Shawls on the indirect free kick. And I say that because that's the result of any offside call. Usually it's not in a spot where the opposing team could knock it in, but you never know. White Bear Lake making a couple of runs at Benjamin Fryman. He remains undeterred. And Woodbury back in the attacking third again. Shawls with the save. And then slides the ball with Magana in pursuit. These saves are going a long way. But they're also hampering White Bear Lake in a way, as we have a stoppage with 19 minutes and 20 seconds. Drop ball by the official. Didn't see what the stoppage was about. There are a lot of conversations I'm not.
Number 22, Lincoln Schneider.
A lot of conversations I'm not privy to.
Everything out, we got this. Let's go. Hey, who's here?
Here's Bain on the throw-in. Bounces away as it went near post. Again, this series Woodbury has controlled, and that includes a couple of section meetings in the quarterfinals. Oh, White Bear Lake thinking in front of it. I thought they had a chance with a rare position in the attacking third. Instead, Woodbury brings it down. Shawls trying to get under it, and ultimately does. But not without having to fend off the speedy Adam Bain, who's living up to his name with regard to the pressure he has mounted. Barraquette with a couple of shots. One that was unexpectedly successful for him. Again, a corner kick by Magana. Deflected off of Barraquette's shoulder from what I could see on the replay of that score. One of 3 Woodbury players to register a goal for the first time in 2025. Magana to Fryman. Trying to softly tap it to the right side. But Woodbury in control of this one. I don't think they'll park the bus per se, a little early for that, but they haven't displayed any signs to suggest this lead of theirs is in danger. At least not recently. They did give up a goal on the misplay by Feigl. That led to a Diego Rios takeaway and score. And as long as they can prevent a similar incident from occurring, I would say they can not coast, but they should be able to pick up another win against a conference rival. And in this case, it would be the first win of the season, but I say that because Woodbury has done their fair share of winning. As I said, for all those years, Stillwater was the team you had to beat. Woodbury taking over that mantle over the last 3 years in Section 4-3A. Just a reminder of how things change, and a yellow card issued to Lincoln Schneider.
Taking into the Royals, number 7, Kevin Centeno.
Here's another look. And the slide from behind by Schneider is what led to the yellow. This is why we pay the crew the big bucks. Because as you know, when it comes to this sport, there's a lot of ground to cover. And it can be hard to track every single movement. I believe I heard John Engen say, I want to see some fight, and not literally, of course. You can't do that in this sport, but more so an encouragement to his team to not let up, not coast just because they have a 2-goal lead and have exhibited a good amount of control. The official got caught up in that play, so a drop ball was given. White Bear Lake. And we're making a furious run toward the net, only to be halted once again by Woodbury. Magana, does he sense a player from behind? He does, and Magana says, no sweat, I'll take care of it. Engen said he wanted to see some fight. You'll see a masterful stroke by Magana. Rios was trying to catch up to him from behind.
Scoring for the Royals, number 10, Dale Magana.
In the 68th minute, Magana is now the team leader with his 3rd goal of the year for Woodbury.
Checking into your Bears, number 6, Hector Zendier.
And in all likelihood, not only will Woodbury extend their win streak over White Bear Lake to 11 meetings, it will also end a streak of 3 straight 1-goal games. The Royals, they earned it. And had it not been for a clearance error on the part of Feigl, perhaps they pitch a clean sheet, but at this level, goal differential doesn't mean all that much. And the Royals still playing as if it was the first minute or so. But you did hear, I believe it was Engen from the bench saying, I want to see some fight. Don't play to the score, just keep playing your game. I believe is what he was conveying. And his players are taking that message and applying it splendidly. Bain. Nearly broke free. But Woodbury will get another chance. Trying to center it. Bain has to get past one defender. Try tapping it. White Bear Lake will clear it. And these are the situations where the character of a team, I feel, is most prominent. It's easy to stay focused. It's easy to maintain concentration when you're in a tight game, a tie game, a 1-goal game, and every movement, every pass, every route counts. But when you're up by a good amount, as we have another clock stoppage here with 11:09. How do you approach it? Woodbury using this opportunity to get some of their backups in. Deep throw in. And jumping in out of nowhere is Diego Vasquez Diaz. Shawls couldn't make the catch, and Diego swoops in to bounce in that throw-in. 5th different goal scorer. Let's take another look at this. It was Cohen Rogers on the throw-in. I think he was looking for Riley. Overshot him. Vasquez Diaz backs him up. Vasquez Diaz in the 69th minute. And that is the 2nd goal of the season for the junior. 5 different goal scorers, 3 picking up their first goals of the year. It was a 1-goal game at the half, but you could sense Woodbury in command. And I don't want to say Woodbury kicked it up a notch, but I go back to what I believe was the speech by Engen, as Soamimo looking to pounce, and he does. White Bear Lake scores on a counter. think at least one Woodbury player was slightly upset, but Latif Soamimo gives White Bear Lake another highlight in the 70th minute. As we said before, counterplays had been the strength for the Bears, and just like the Rios goal, Soamimo gets in front of a pass and zips downfield for the score.
For the Royals, number 20.
It won't be enough for the win, but it does further embody what I was saying about how you approach these situations. Soamimo scoring his first of the year, I might add. How do you handle situations where the game is decided and you don't have a win to play for? For Soamimo, the sophomore, and for the Woodbury players who picked up a goal in these last few minutes, a flurry of offensive activity. There's something I always say, you never know who's watching. Your coaches will certainly notice your efforts when they review the game film. But if there are college aspirations, as we get a tangle between number 13 of the Royals, who is not listed on the roster that I was given. I think one of the JV players. But what do you bring when the game is locked up? That can go a long way. And offensively, I think it's safe to say these two teams still making a run. Not leaving opportunities uncashed. But the last few minutes has seen plenty of highlights. And we might get more. This is Schneider trying to make the extra pass. It gets away. Woodbury catches up to it. But Knowlton can't send it in. I was going to say Vasquez Diaz in the 64th minute. Swoops in for the header. Magana with a strike in the 68th. And then Soamimo on the White Bear Lake side, scoring another counterplay in the 70th. And they might get another chance. Oh! That is a goal. I heard it bounce off the post, and I thought it was spit back out. Well, it was, but not before crossing the line. Barghini
Scoring for your Bears.
in the 73rd.
Isaac Barghini.
I've never heard a doink like that in soccer. I'm used to hearing it in football. And as you saw in the replay, the line was crossed, the goal line that is. So even though it didn't brush the net, it just ricocheted around the poles, the pipes that keep the net in place.
Checking for your Royals, number 5.
Usually goals aren't accompanied by sound effects like that, and that's why I was momentarily confused. Of course, it doesn't take much to do that, but I thought it ricocheted off the post, but it went in, then back out. In any event, it's 5-3. White Bear Lake still needs a few things to go their way, but as I was saying, they're not going to get the win in all likelihood tonight. But what this can do is give them a blueprint for future games against a state tournament contender in Woodbury. For Taylin Gittens and her crew, I'm sure they'll be taking some notes if they haven't already. That signals a possibility. I could see the next practice session where they may be thinking, hey, we may have found a way forward as Shawls adds another save. The Woodbury starters back out there, Bain to Centeno to close this one out. And I don't blame Engen for doing so with a 2-goal game. Last thing you want to do is approach it too carelessly and let the Bears surprise you, just like the Bills did 2 nights ago against the Ravens, or the Vikings last night against the Bears. The Chicago Bears, that is. You have to remember, we have another set of Bears here. And this will be an opportune circumstance for Woodbury, a corner kick that will at least help them run some time off the clock. Barghini, with his goal in the 73rd minute, picks up his 4th of the year. I don't recall a half with so many goals. There were 5 altogether. They might get more.
Give it to the corner. Hey, good one. Give it to the corner. You guys scored like 2 in like 2 seconds.
Another corner for the Royals.
Yeah, White, let's win it. Yo.
And Bain, as I would expect, taking his time. Header! And Woodbury adds another. Evan Vang. Exactly in the 76th minute. Well, that might end up going to Bain instead. I thought it was Vang, the way he was celebrating, but looking at that replay, I think it may have been deflected off a White Bear Lake player. That will either be the 2nd goal of the game for Bain or the 1st for Vang, but seeing that replay, I thought it was off a White Bear Lake player, and the Royals still attacking. As Bain made another charge. Plenty of fight in this Woodbury squad. And here's Bain again. Good challenge by Gonzalez. And Woodbury will get the backups out there again. Of course, the clock stops because they are leading with under 5 minutes to go.
Number 7, Donald Grant. Number 19, Kenneth Woodring.
One of the highest scoring games I've covered, as Woodbury lines up their 8th corner. Shawls can't make the initial grab, does recover though. And as you saw on the screen, one of many factors favoring Woodbury, 8 corners to 1. That usually tells you who is controlling possession, who is spending more time in the attacking third. And a couple of those corners have led to scoring plays. And then there was one that indirectly led to a score just before the half. So again, Woodbury will pick up their 11th straight win over White Bear Lake. and will do so with the most number of goals scored in a game in that stretch. Push from behind.
Hey, get three, get three, get three. Diego.
And a free kick, a yellow as well.
Hey, Mason, get in there.
That's on number
No.
19, Kenneth Woodring.
Cabran, back up. Yeah, just three. Hey, shift left. Yeah, get in there too.
Free kick for the Bears. It's away from everybody. There's still about half the season to go, but for Woodbury,
1 minute.
this will be a season high for goals scored. And coincidentally, it's also a season high for White Bear Lake, with all 3 of their goals coming on counters. Again, if you're White Bear Lake, you do have a building block, a blueprint, a foundation, a way to get a strike or 2 in at games, because I have to imagine White Bear Lake will be seen as underdogs on the boys' side as the Royals look to get one more. Flag goes up, they're offside, and that will be the last play in for the Royals. This might be expected, but I think it's safe to say they showed plenty of fight in the second half when it looked like things were wrapped up. That's it, that's all. Woodbury defeats White Bear Lake 6-3 in what turned out to be a shootout between these two Suburban East rivals. Several first-time scorers on the Woodbury side. 3 pick up their first goal of the year. And Tadeo Magana now assumes the team lead with 3 for White Bear Lake. Diego Rios scored in the 17th minute. Latif Soamimo in the 70th, and Isaac Barghini in the 73rd, again, all coming on counters. We'll take a look at the highlights before we get ready for the girls' game. These are all from the second half. This is the Barraquette score in the 56th minute that he bounced in with his shoulder. And then here's just an old-fashioned strike from the middle by Magana. His 3rd of the year, and that came in the 68th minute. Diego Vasquez-Diaz also scored in the 64th. And Woodbury wasn't done. The throw-in, there's the Vasquez score. I should say that was the 69th, not 64th. I stand corrected. White Bear Lake made a fight of it. Soamimo intercepts the throw-in and zooms downfield. And then again, another counter set up by a takeaway from Ike Barghini. His 4th of the year. And Adam Bain picking up his 2nd with the corner that ricocheted off a White Bear Lake player. Bain was celebrating as well, but Bain scoring twice in the 12th and 76th minute. That was a whole lot of scoring and a whole lot of note-taking for us. For now, we're going to take a break and get ready for the girls' game, which will start in about half an hour as we take one more look at the game stats. Woodbury goes to 4-1-1 with the victory, and as you can see, they really took command in the second half with shots and shots on goal heavily favoring them. So the Royals go to 4-1-1. White Bear Lake drops to 1-5-1. Whole lot of offense. And Adam Bain had 3 assists coming in. He now has a pair of goals. Certainly my player of the game for Woodbury, but a lot to like for both teams in this matchup. So again, we will be back in about 30 minutes, a little less than that, for our girls game. So stick around as we continue live coverage of high school soccer on SCC Sports.